So
Cool. What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and I'm joined by EM Dolphin fan and the homie Mr. Ball Game on this breaking. Tuesday.
groundbreaking.
Who saw this happening? Tua Tagovailoa, guys, has been named the starting quarterback of your Miami Dolphins coming off the bye.
Groundbreaking.
So let's get your initial thoughts, man. What does this tell you right now that they're willing to go off a guy who we were 3-3? He put us in a position where we're in the thick of the playoff hunt. And I know we can all agree he had some pretty poor decision making, but to make that kind of move and to go to a rookie in the middle of a playoff hunt, like I'll start with you, EM, your thoughts, and then Ball Game, just follow up, bro.
To me, I'm sure there are multiple reasons why they made this move at this point, but I think the biggest issue why they opted to transition to Tua Tagovailoa at this point in the season is because of, I think Tua, what has happened is Tua has in terms of his acclimation to the NFL, in terms of the game speed, and if you pay attention to Chan Gailey's Zoom session earlier this morning, he referenced Tua's getting accustomed to NFL game speed. So that, in addition to his retention of the playbook, and I think his application in practice of what he's learning in the classroom, I think Tua's acclimation process has been accelerated. And we said this from jump, Reason. What do we say since day one? Obviously, we know Tua is the superior talent to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ray Charles could see that. But Tua hadn't just caught up. There was no way a rookie was going to come in mentally and exceed what a 16-year veteran, in this, in the National Football League, is no way he could have been up to speed on the level of a player such as Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think what has happened more so than anything, again, I'm sure there's multiple reasons why they opted to make this move at this point, but I think Tua, his acclimation process has accelerated. And I think what they're seeing in practice is what we said all along. Tua's natural ability is starting to take it over. And I think he's probably been I don't think I think this is a process that's been going on. And I think they've been seeing things that they are extremely comfortable with in terms of Tua playing on NFL Sundays. I think this has probably been going on for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even longer. And so at the end of the day, we should, as Dolphins fans, be extremely comfortable with the fact that Brian Flores would opt to make this move, considering the situation that our team is in terms of the playoff picture, the division picture. We are second in the division right now behind the Buffalo Bills, 1 game behind them, in the middle of a playoff race. Whether you believe in our chances of making the playoffs are accurate or not, I'm hearing a lot of feedback, Reese. I don't know who that is. I can bet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
But we should have a highlight. We should have. Man, I'm hearing a lot of feedback, bro.
It's cut. I muted it. It's Ball Game. I cut it.
Okay. But at the end of the day, we should have a high level of comfort with this decision, because this tells me that they feel like they can win with Tua Tagovailoa. It's not. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we all know, he's been playing. He's had his ups and downs. He's had his issues, but he's been playing relatively well overall.
And I just want you're kind of just going off what you're saying right now. Cameron Wolf tweeted out not too long ago. He said Ryan Fitzpatrick did nothing to lose the Dolphins' quarterback job. He actually played really well. From what I understand, this is more about Tua. He got his feet wet Sunday and looked good in limited snaps. They felt it was time, and the bye week was the perfect time for transition. That's the exact quote from Cameron Wolf.
100%. 100%, bro. 100%. That is what happened. That's what's happening now. So, yeah, but the fact that they're comfortable to make this move, considering the situation our team is in, I think we should be excited at this point.
Yo, Sharif, you got the YouTube channel too loud in the background, brother. Just turn that down. Ball Game, I'm trying to unmute you and it's not unmuting you, bro. For some reason, I don't know what's going on. Esteban, you have muted yourself right now. Sharif,
yeah, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. I'm happy. It's a new era, man. It feels. I've never felt this way as a Dolphins fan, like ever in my life. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but man, it feels like change is coming.
And change is coming. Change is here, my friend.
Change
has arrived, my friend.
I'm assuming in terms of our success.
Our success.
Yeah. So,
I honestly, guys, this is how it went down. Shout out to Stevie TV. Thanks for joining, bro. This is how it went down for me, guys. I literally took my daughter out for a walk. We got a pond like a 5-minute walk away. Took a loaf of bread. We're feeding the ducks. She likes to do this thing where she runs back and forth over a bridge, whatever. Walking back, trotting back. Came upstairs. Wife says, hey, I'm going to go out because my wife works from home right now. She said, I'm going to go grab something to eat. I said, I'm probably going to lay down, so don't even worry about getting me any food. I'm going to be laying down. Don't worry about me. So I go and I put my kid down. I come downstairs and I had my phone charging in the kitchen. I'll never forget this. I walk up. I see missed call from EM 13 minutes ago, and then right above it, I got a Bleacher Report update saying Tua Tagovailoa has been named the starter. And then right above that, I got a score update saying Tua Tagovailoa has been named the starter. It's Tua time in Miami. I call EM, and this man's already on a conference call talking about the move. And then when that's on, so next thing you know, we're having a conference call, and yo, man, today was an absolute shock because even yesterday I said we talked about the possibility of that, even though we said we're probably 99% sure Fitz is going to start. But what did we say to y'all? We said they clearly brought Tua in because they were sending a message. They weren't up as much as they were against San Francisco, but Fitz was making good decisions, playing really well, so they didn't pull him. This time, the decision-making was clearly bad, really bad at certain times, and they go off. They give Tua snaps, and like EM said, guys, if you saw Chan Gailey's Zoom today, it did click with me too because, it didn't think, oh my God, this kid's going to be starting this afternoon. But I said to myself, when I said yesterday on stream that I think this leash has gone down from 2 to 4 games to probably 2 or 3 quarters. When I saw Chan Gailey say what he said today in terms of, he talked about how impressed he was with guys. He thought that bootleg, that rollout was going to be an easy play call. He talked about it. He said, I gave him an easy throw. They sent a corner blitz. They made it a hard throw, and Tua handled it no problem. And if you actually looked about it, Chan Gailey was gushing more than all of us were over 5 plays. He kept talking about how he saw so many good things out of even those limited amount of snaps. And what did me and EM tell all y'all from the moment he was drafted to even when we were saying Fitz is going to be the starter? We were saying, it's not going to be a question of who's the better quarterback, right? Because like Fitz said, Tua can make a million throws, I can't. It's not going to be a question of who the most athletic guy is because clearly Tua was the most athletic in that room. And arguably one of the more athletic guys, not the top, but one of the more athletic guys on our offense. It was going to come down to terminology, which if y'all have followed up with Cameron Wolf, he's talked about how Tua's seen a lot of things in this playbook that he saw at Alabama, so a lot of familiar stuff. So terminology, game speed, film session, and chalkboard, right, in the QB room come down to that. It was coming down to more catching up to the speed of the playbook, the speed of the game. It was more book work and chalk work than it was getting better with your accuracy, getting better with your placement, getting better with your reads. Like, look at EM, guys. I put up the all-22, and EM, pardon my language, basically busted a nut yesterday, and rightfully so, when he saw Tua identifying the Mike linebacker. I mean, first passing play in the NFL, this man's IDing the Mike, something Josh Rosen couldn't do after 2.5 years. So they were just it seems like the intangible part of the game that me and EM said he needed to catch up on. Guys, Brian Flores, when he made the change last year back to Fitzpatrick, what did he tell everyone? We want to go with the guy who has the best chance to win.
Yep.
It tells us right now that they are comfortable where he is on intangible side of the playbook, the game speed, the pre-snap reads, identifying stuff. They are comfortable enough where he is in his growth and development. And then you add in that he's a better quarterback, he's a better passer, and he's more athletic. And he can extend plays. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this must tell you guys Tua is at a pretty far along level in terms of grasping everything the coaching staff wants him to, because I don't think Flores would have made the change if they weren't comfortable enough, because Flores seems like the one of the more conservative guys. And I said this to Esteban and EM. Let me hit y'all with this, guys. They played it so close to their chest that up until today, you would have believed not only was Ryan Fitzpatrick Chan Gailey's favorite person in the world, but there was no way Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to concede that job. No way whatsoever. Chan Gailey didn't even show his hand. And guys, what did I tell y'all from the get-go? I told y'all, bring him in between the Jets game, that bye week. And it looks like all they did was they accelerated because of COVID.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I said, man, you called this. I won't give you credit about the Jets. When they moved it up, I said this was supposed to be the Jets, then the bye week, and then the Jets again. And you see that, man. You called it.
But
I gotta give you credit.
I think at the end of the day, I think there was a lot of things that contributed to this move at this point in time. But I think the most important that we need to recognize, the most important issue is that, again, what did I've been saying about Tua all along? I said what's keeping Tua more so than anything I felt on the sideline was Fitzpatrick's play. I said Tua just hadn't caught up to his level yet in terms of his overall play. And I think what's going on now is Tua has caught him, and the our staff, because again, they see him 6 days a week. And they're like, again, he's caught up to the mental aspect of the game. And now what they're seeing is his natural ability to take over. And again, they feel, that's the most encouraging thing about this whole move is that Flores is not going to throw him. Flores' objective, if we didn't know, since he got here, he is about winning. The objective is always to win. Give me the best 11 on the field on Sundays. And the objective has always been winning. He would not make a move like this in the middle of a play. Again, whatever your beliefs are about in terms of us making the playoffs, we are in the middle of a playoff chase. We are second in the division, one game out. And he would not make a move like this if he felt he could not, that Tua can either match Fitz's production or ultimately exceed it. So that is the most encouraging thing we need to be mindful of.
And also, EM, I think Flores saw something he liked during the Rams and the 49ers game, man. He seen something he liked. He said, you know what? I'm going to exploit him. So let me start with this bye week to prepare him for that game, man. So I agree. I honestly agree with you. He smelled his blood in the water, like you said. He sees Buffalo's vulnerable. He's going to strike.
What's up, man? I want to give my take, reason if I can, real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so like you guys know how we had that discussion about Tua and being a one-read quarterback and all that. Look, all I want to say is I want to speak my piece because I got love for all y'all.
Can I just give me 1 sec, Esteban? I'll give you a chance. It's just because of how this is set up. I want to show all of y'all. So, guys. It's even hitting Instagram in a big way. You can go over to Tua's Instagram right now and check this, boys. I had to make sure there was no copyright issue.
Yeah. Who is that? Rick Ross?
Did y'all hear that or no?
No, I couldn't hear it.
Okay, let me hit y'all with that. Let me just share it, bro, so y'all can hear it real quick.
Rick Ross pronouncing his name is hilarious.
Okay, so and then I'll give you the floor, Esteban. So here it is, guys. Just quickly.
You got word that Tua named the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins Congratulations, little bro. You know what it is, baby. 305, we turning up.
So there you go, man.
Turn it up.
Go ahead, bro. The floor is yours.
Okay, that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was about to say. So when these guys were in college and we were having these debates, I wouldn't say arguments, I say debates because we weren't arguing. In my opinion, I was. I am no longer a supporter of Burrow. I do like his game. I feel bad for the kid because I feel he's in a bad situation. He wanted to come to Miami. He spoke it out of his mouth. He wanted to come to Miami. Herbert probably wished he could have been in Miami. I feel we got the right guy. I feel they did it the right way. And one of the things that I mentioned was that when draft time came, the reason that I wanted him was because we were going to be able to see what he had once we got our hands on him, and he was in practice. We didn't need in-game. How everybody's been saying you need to see what he's got. They knew what he had in practice, and the entire team kept their lips sealed, and that speaks volumes of Flores because they all abide by the coach and they're buying in. We should see that as a fan base and applaud that. And now these coaching staff, we're at full force with how this culture is going to just come into fruition, man. So it's a beautiful thing, but I gotta address the media because shout out to Reason and EM and Finside the NFL and all the other platforms. I got love for all of y'all because we don't have a voice in the media. We weren't even showed any love after beating the 49ers, which just beat the Rams. You heard people raving about Kittle last week, and they still weren't showing them any love. So, and my statement to the media is stay on that side of the fence. We don't want you. We don't need you as a community. We got Finside the NFL. We got Larry's podcast. We got out of respect for this podcast, or I'm sorry, this show. That other platform, I'm not gonna say that.
But hey, Esteban, and you were there. You know what I was saying to all these people because people in the comments are telling me people are out here flip flopping like a pair of sandals, saying, "I told you Tua was the guy." Da 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 da. What did I say when we were gonna draft Tua? And what did I say when we drafted Tua to all those people? Not even just the media. All of y'all that were making cracks about injury cracks about this 22-year-old kid. All of y'all that went to war with us over Josh Rosen. All of y'all that went to war and created problems over Justin Herbert. What did I say? I said when Tua starts balling out, keep that same energy.
Yep.
I don't want to over here. I don't want to go over here gobbling it up.
Yeah. Please.
Y'all didn't want him. So when the playoff appearance starts stacking up and the Super Bowl rings start coming on the finger, I want to get that same energy for all of y'all that were saying, "Oh, Tua's gonna walk up, and he's gonna break his hip and he's never gonna play a game." Oh, why are we looking at Tua? We got the franchise, Josh Rosen. Oh, why would you want Tua? You can go get Justin Herbert from Oregon. Keep that same energy.
That's right.
And we're putting dubs on the board, and we're putting championship banners up in the fucking rafters. That's all I got to say.
That's right.
Maintain that energy, baby. Keep it maintained. Please.
I guess y'all can address me as I can eat crow because I did. I have. There is receipts where this is the thing. I hold myself accountable. I'm okay. I'm happy with eating crow right now because I did say.
Here's the thing. By the time we were doing mock drafts, at the end there, you were starting to take Tua. If you go on draft day, you were an advocate for us taking Tua.
Yeah.
So that's the difference here, bro. That's the difference here, bro. So I'm not lumping you in that.
You ain't in that category, homie.
Hey, maintain all that energy, baby. Maintain it all. I want every drop of that energy. I want every ounce. I don't want to hear. I want it all, please.
Bro, I want to turn it to an
Keep
energy.
it.
Bro, I want to turn
Oh.
it into an energy drink and just live off it, baby.
I
Hey,
Tell him,
why
bro.
do you
Tell
out
him.
of it. I want it. I would even look. I would even put a few drops of my Corona tonight, bro. I'm telling you, man. I want it all. That applies to everybody.
Keep calling him a bust. Keep calling him a
Keep it.
bust.
Hey, why do
Keep
you
How
guys
y'all
think
doing,
that they
Dolphins?
chose
Hey.
to announce it now instead of wait?
How
And
y'all
why?
doing, man?
Reason? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. How y'all feeling today? This is Sharif. How y'all
Good,
feeling
Chris.
today?
Outstanding.
Beautiful, bro.
Outstanding.
It's
I
a
don't know.
great-
Every week, me and EM are right about something, so this is just starting to feel natural for me. But
It's standard operating procedure.
I just want to say shout out to Esteban. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Hope everything is well with you, Esteban.
What's
And,
going on,
That's right there.
It's the
That's the
Bombers.
homie.
hey, man, everything is good, man. Everything is good, man. Hey, glad you're all right and everything with your family is okay. Um, in terms of Tua, I actually had a feeling from that moment he sat on the field. Not only something is special about this kid when Reason asked me to comment on how I felt about it, but I felt this. And I'm not going to sit here and say I predicted this or that, but this is our team. So
who's got
whether
feedback?
sometimes at the end of the day, we're all winners,
The guy next,
regardless of
Who's
our.
got the field on? Who's got the feedback going on right now?
the guy next to me.
Say again, Pyro. I can't hear you.
The guy next to me.
I'm
Derek?
on mute.
Not Sharif.
No, Derek.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay, good. All right, go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
keep going, Sharif.
yeah, man. But I had a feeling, and like I said, when we broke down the all 22 on that pass to Jakeem Grant, like I said, over the linebacker dart, right past the safety's eyes to Jakeem Grant, first third down conversion of the game. That told me right there that once again he can survey the middle of the field way better than the Fitz or anyone that I've
No,
seen.
well, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Come on now, Sharif.
Yeah, I don't
come
know
on.
about that.
Good.
Dude,
Come on.
I'm still
Don't say that. He can't, bro. I mean, he hadn't even started. He hadn't had
but
one
let me just-
start yet.
I'm going somewhere. I'm trying to build my case. What I'm saying
Oh,
is,
okay. My bad. All due respect, man. Go ahead.
what I'm saying is, I agree with you and reason. But what I'm saying is, as we seen in Alabama film that we broke down before the draft, we've seen Tua take the safety with his eyes. Come on, I'm not even gonna go there. I believe that Tua can survey the field and watch the strafe linebacker or the Mike linebacker. He can see that blind stuff. That's nothing new to Tua. He will be able to conceptualize that and eliminate that and actually devour that. So that's what I'm saying. He has above most quarterbacks to me. And if I'm wrong, so what? But if I'm right, all of us win.
Yeah. I just think, Tua
EM,
has-
can you go off of Sharif and can you also address Red Dino's question when you're done too?
Yeah. I just think, one thing to your statement, Sharif, Tua has put that consistently on film, that skill set, but it's a huge, as we see, it's a huge difference in doing it in the SEC and doing it consistently in the NFL. So I'll again, I'm a reserve judgment in that regard for Tua, but I'm with you in spirit at the end of the day. But I think, okay, he said, why do we announce this instead of
Wait till late next week so the
Wait
Rams
till wait.
start preparing.
Yeah, I can't see. I got this glare going
So
on.
he said, why did we announce this now instead of wait until late next week so the Rams are preparing for Fitz and not Tua?
Well, again, like I said, bro, I think I think Tua, again, there are multiple reasons why they made this move, and we won't know 100% of them. But I think what the message I got from this organization by opting to make this move at this point in the season, and again, put that in the context at this where we are in the season. We're not 0-5, we're not 1-4. You know what I mean? We are 500. We are one game out of first place. I think at the biggest issue, I just think Tua has he's completely acclimated. Well, as complete as he could possibly be. And I think they feel where he is in his development mentally, the retention, and ultimately the application of the playbook on Sundays. I think there's a high level of comfort there. They feel like with that, where he is mentally, in addition to his natural physical gifts, I think they feel like they can win. Because again, the objective has always been with your staff, it's been to win, period. No matter what you think, it's about winning. And I think those two issues, I think he's just caught up, and he's caught up, and they just have a high level of comfort with him. And now is the time with the bye week. Now's the time to make the move, because you got the defense plan at an all, as well as it could possibly play. There's a lot of things going on here that's contributing. Again, like I said, but you got the defense, you got the running game, improvement every single week, and they feel like with this kid's natural talent, and he's caught up, they just feel like they can win with him at the end of the day, and that should give us all as fans.
And EM and reason, once again, EM and reason, in terms of we don't need to lose the game because of, once again, you're 39 years old, you're making middle play field mistakes that you're 39 years old of experience. You're supposed to be able to eliminate that strafing linebacker. Once again, you're supposed to be able to see that safety strafing underneath. And this is the things that reason saying that came back to bite him.
That's just not relative to Fitz now. That's all quarterbacks. I mean, I've seen Tom Brady have, get picked off, and he's considered the greatest to ever do it. He has problems with that. That's just not relative to Fitz.
It's 2 interceptions in the Jacksonville game. We can go, so these are little things that once again they add up. It's 7 turnovers for Fitz, and it could have been 9 or 10. So
I just think
it
comes down to what Reason said earlier. He was just being greedy and lazy at that time.
Right. So exactly.
Like you said, to your point, Sharif. Again, let's not sit up here and take this opportunity to kill Fitz, bro. At the end of the day, like you said, it could have been 2 more picks. Well, you could have took 4 of those picks off his total that weren't his fault. So you can make that argument as well. So at the end of the day, Fitz, when you're evaluating him overall, Fitz is now he's had his ups and downs. He's got obviously he's got things he needs to clean up, just like any quarterback. Fitz is playing at a high level, and again, like I said, that's the number one thing. What I'm taking from this move is that they think Tua at this point in his development, he can match or exceed the production they're getting from Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is very encouraging, I might add. So let's not sit up here and take this opportunity and act like
you're not wrong.
You're
not wrong, EM, because I just read what Cameron Wolf said.
Yeah, exactly.
He said he talked to someone close to the situation, and Fitz has played really well, and he didn't lose his job. It was they liked what they saw from limited snaps, and they feel that the bye week is the perfect transition. It literally goes down to what I told y'all. They just moved it up because of COVID. But I said the bye week between the Jets game, man. There you go. And that was it looks like that was the plan all along, because that bye week, guys, it also would have fallen in line with what Flores was actually telling us and what we were hearing, where they wanted him to at least be off the field for a year. Right. And now you don't have that opportunity. And if you're gonna make the move,
you do it
like
now.
Exactly, because it's a lot easier to make the move with 2 weeks in between prepping for an inconsistent Rams, as opposed to it's now like week 14 or week 15 or whatever it is, and we're going in against the Las Vegas Raiders. And we're fighting for a playoff spot late in the season, whereas now, if you can pile up. See, the other good thing about this, too, is if you look at our schedule, they gave him the winnable part of our schedule. Like, they've given him the middle part of our schedule, which up until the Chiefs game, you could run the freaking gauntlet here.
That's right.
If the defense shows up, And because this goes back to what I was saying, guys. You know what was probably so frustrating? Because if me and EM are seeing it, I guarantee you they were getting frustrated. It was the fact of what EM said yesterday. And Fitz has done this before this season. he starts for the first half. Once they get out of the scrimmage plays, and once the big boy pants come on, and it comes into game call, when it comes to play calling, the problem he was running into was he stopped taking what they were giving him and putting it in his situations and forcing
Yes.
situations.
Yes, I totally agree.
The rookie quarterback, historically with rookie quarterbacks, because they're more not nervous, but because they don't want to make mistakes, they're more susceptible to more often than not taking what the defense gives them, and they'll only challenge the defense here and there, whereas Fitz was out here challenging for a whole second half.
You know what I like about this new regime with the Dolphins?
And it kind of hold on, I'll let you
I'm sorry, Reese. I'm sorry, homie.
And like I said yesterday, it kind of falls into what this team fit for Tua is. If you go back to what he was at Alabama, what was it? We will kill you with stuff behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, short and intermediate, and then we'll challenge you over the top.
Right.
We'll pull you up and keep you honest, and then we'll go over the top. That's what you can do that with a rookie who takes what you give them, because all of a sudden, especially if you keep getting first down, they're going to say, crap, we can't keep giving them the underneath stuff because they're killing us in the time of possession, and they're moving the ball consistently on us. So when you got Breda and Gaskin, who are consistently averaging 3.1, 3.3 yards, you add that in with taking what the defense is giving with you, you're going to consistently have first down. So what are they going to do? Okay, now we got to start taking some of that away. So when they move up, take that stuff away. Now you go over top.
Right.
The only question is, and we talked about this privately, reason is that when defenses take away the underneath stuff and they take away the running game, this is why I keep saying this brings a high level of comfort to where Tua is in his development in terms of the mental aspect of the game, because he has to be as close to 100, close to that 100, close to being 100% totally acclimated with the playbook, his retention and his application, because again, we're in a playoff race, and the games are just going to get tighter and tighter as the season goes on. And so when defenses take things away from you, and they're taking away that underneath stuff, and they're taking away the running game, and they force that rookie quarterback to beat you with his arm and his mind, okay?
Rhino,
I just don't think Brian Flores would put Tua in a situation like that if he didn't feel like Tua can have a high level of success in terms of winning. And again, I keep saying that's that's comforting for me.
It's great. Yeah, when you talk about what you're saying right now, when you talk about them taking away the run, and what did you say with them taking away the pass story? You saw them taking away the middle stuff, the underneath stuff?
Yeah, the underneath stuff, yeah.
So what do, right? They force you outside the numbers to the sidelines, right? What do I tell all of y'all since I've been doing this YouTube thing? I've been telling y'all about quarterback evaluations. What are the big boy throws outside the numbers, right?
Yep.
What did they see? I'm telling you, it wasn't just identifying the Mike linebacker. You know what it was? They saw, it's what Gailey said. I wanted that rollout, that bootleg, to be an easy play for him. The defense ended up making it way harder than it should have been. And what did he do? On the run, he made a big boy throw outside the numbers, right in the middle of Laird's numbers. And that was probably like, wow, those two guys in the space didn't even phase him, bro. Like, that's why a lot of people are like, he should have hit Gaskin, right? Because Gaskin had, but those two guys in front of him took away that look. If he would have thrown to Gaskin, that ball's either being batted down or they're picking it down and intercepting it in their chest. So he made the right throw, and he made the perfect right throw. So that's the things that they saw.
On the move too.
Yeah, which, like EM said yesterday, anyone who's watched tape, one of the knocks on him when people started nitpicking his game was his accuracy can dip when he starts getting on the move outside the pocket. Right. But I mean, you can make a better throw.
Reason that's one thing Chan Gailey talked about in the Zoom. One additional thing he talked about in the Zoom session was Tua's how well he throws the football on the run. He highlighted that. He highlighted that this morning.
And Tua made a joke about that. He said, "I guess I can throw it on the run."
Yeah, because that was a knock on him. Me and Reason talked about that. I don't know how long. when they were breaking down film, and there is some film that can substantiate, that initial, evaluation, that aspect of his game. I will say that. But
real quick, after watching the documentary, I bet you he worked on that.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
And here's another
so he's
thing.
gotten better.
And here's another thing, when you talk about this kid and what people were saying about him. I mean, it took his the first down completion of the game and a big boy throw to Jakeem Grant, and he deaded that whole one read thing right away, bro, because we broke it down yesterday. You watch his head, I see at least 3 progressions. Left side of the field, middle of the field, back to Grant, boom. And that's an encouraging sign. Let me hit y'all with this.
And he moved the
When was the last time Fitz hit Jakeem Grant when he wasn't the first read?
Never.
That
is true.
Never, bro.
And someone mentioned that he's a small target, and Fitzmagic never had small targets and was never good with small targets. That's why I can argue that Tua doesn't have that problem.
And also a reason he did move the safety too, because the safety was on Jakeem.
Yeah. Again, hey, Pyro. That's one of my favorite traits of Tua.
Oh boy, I love that.
With the off the spot, bro. And I actually showed y'all visual evidence when he did it to Patrick Queen, and we all know Patrick Queen's balling out right now. He did it to Patrick Queen and Cordell Flott, one of the better corners at LSU. He moved them both off their spot with his eyes and created just a big enough window to hit Judy on the hitch route, and boom, they couldn't do nothing about it, man. Like, look at his first ever start, even though it's at the collegiate level, that touchdown throw that won them a national championship.
Yeah.
He had to use his eyes to move the safety to make that throw.
Yep.
Can I piggyback on that reason?
Can you what, sorry?
I'm here for the smoke, man. Hey, what's up, Reason? Everybody, how y'all doing?
Yo, B, what's good?
What's going on, Joe? What's going on, homie?
Joe B.
Now you know I'm here for the smoke. Now you just said he moved. Tua can move, so therefore that means he can read. So I just want to address. Now Esteban is our boy. We love all Miami Dolphins fans. Esteban, could you address that tape you found when Tua said he needs to work on his reads? Could you address that right now?
Oh man.
Oh, he's asking about that
He
footage.
went lying. He's asking about all the smoke.
No, he's asking about that footage that the other platform tried to use as evidence.
That's found that for that other channel. Could you address that?
I still don't even know what you're saying, but
he's talking about Esteban. He's okay. The video that the other platform posted in the heat of the moment when we were going through things, where Tua's interview where he talked about how he needs to work on his reads or whatever. He's talking about that. That's all he's talking about.
Oh, okay. And how do you want me to address it?
Didn't you find that for that other platform, Esteban?
Yeah. Let me address this Reason. All right. Okay. And don't worry, y'all. Don't worry. This ain't gonna go south. But first of all, you can kiss my ass for bringing that up. Joking. Second of all, look, I got love for I got love for the other dude on the other platform. I'll go out there and say, I mean, you know what I mean. But I got love for this platform too. Okay. Last but not least, the only reason that I said that was because I eat crow for the day that we had the discussion on Tua. That I did agree with that other guy on that other platform that day. Okay, so that's the only reason why I gave him the video. I did give him the video, and I hold myself accountable for doing that. But that doesn't mean that both platforms made points to where I would agree with them. Okay, so first of all, yes, from the example that the other platform gave, in that one example, it looked like Tua wasn't going through progression or reads on that example that he gave. But Reason and EM have also made very good points and examples of Tua actually going through his progressions. So that's just to clear the waters, So I support all platforms. And when I was talking about earlier, keep that same energy, I'm addressing ABC, ESPN, CBS, all those main media outlets that don't show this team any love. So I got a lot of love for the Dolphin community and all these guys doing their thing on these platforms for this team because we all root for the same team, buddy. So
okay, this is what I just want to address this quick because me and Esteban had this conversation privately, Toby. Because before he came onto this platform and before Esteban came, I had a one-on-one with him, Toby. I told DM to tell him to call me. Like, I'll be transparent about that. Esteban won't deny that either. And me and Esteban talked like 2 or 3 hours. This is what I told Esteban. This is what I'll tell everyone. That was simply shout out to the homie Ricketic, fins up. That was just simply, and I mean, that was simply. And I know you know this, Joe B. This is just me speaking generally. I know Esteban knows this. That was literally just a PR answer. That's all that was, right? Because
PC.
No quarterback, no prospect with your quarterback, lineman, DB, safety, whatever you want to be. No one can come in and say, yeah, I don't really have a ton I have to work at. And here's the other thing. The reason why he wasn't also lying to anyone in terms of Tua saying he had to work on, technically, Tua still needs to work on everything because the windows close faster at the next level. The coverages are more disguised.
Right.
Yep.
Post-snap is different than pre-snap most of the time.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I say, everyone, if you're an elite college player, usually off the bat, you're either good or really good when you go to the next level. But you need to work to get back to that elite status because now you're a grown man. Right. So he wasn't lying, but here's the thing. And this should be whether people want to go back to episode 35 or whether people want to go back to episode 36. In episode 35, and this is what set that whole thing off, I deaded that whole narrative where I broke down to a film to show the head twitchiness, to show his ability to roll through his progressions. And then after the nonsense continued, and I'm not talking about from Esteban, I'm talking about the other person. When that nonsense continued, what did I do, y'all? I took videos from Travis Wingfield. I took stuff from Nick Saban.
Nick Saban himself.
His own coach breaking down this guy's ability to roll through his progressions and reads. So that is all deaded. Anyone who believes that, they haven't seen our videos or they're not educated on the situation. I don't know what else to say. Football. Or no football. And you know what? I mean, I'm not trying to have animosity here. This is supposed to be a beautiful day, man. A guy says, shout out to Nico in the comments. No, it's all good. No, it's all good, bro. But shout out to Nico in the comments because, he was one of the first true boys I made in this YouTube community. And he can go back all the way to last July and he can tell y'all I was rooting for this man. You know what I mean? I wanted this man in aqua and orange and like this. And I know EM, me and him didn't become tight till October, so a few months later. But from day one, that's how me and EM bonded. If I met Tua, one of the first things I would say to Tua is, man, one of my good friends in life who I haven't even met yet, I attribute to you, and you weren't even, and it wasn't even you on the team yet. The prospect of having you brought me and this man together. You know what I mean? And like the whole reason I jumped in on that other platform and I am where I am today is because I came in to set the record straight because y'all had people misinforming y'all all the way back in October about Tua. And I remember, and EM will attest to this. EM heard me come on. EM heard me come on, give my little mini scouting report on Tua, and EM said to me personally, it was in that moment I realized, I got to start coming correct because now I got another mind on this channel. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
So, Tua is I owe everything in the community to Tua, man. So there is a spot open. I know someone was trying to join, but I appreciate you, Joe B. You know we love you, man.
Shout out to you, homie. Shout out to you.
But things are cool with Esteban. Esteban. I don't know.
Esteban's a homie, man. He's a homie.
We're all good. And I'll tell y'all what Esteban told me privately, man. Because let's just be transparent. Esteban sent that video not to be shared. Basically, he basically sent that video to say, "Yo, you might be onto something." And what did that person do? They basically threw it up on YouTube and they put him in between us. So it is what it is.
The issue with that video is that it was filmed in January when he was doing his Super Bowl tour, and it was shared after the draft out of context. That's the whole problem with that video.
Yeah.
And if you ask Dan Marino to this day, what could you have done better in your career? He would have said, I could have made better reads as an NFL quarterback. There's not a quarterback that would not say that.
Brett Favre would say that. Brett Favre would say that.
Two a time, bye week. I love it.
Rhino just woke up and he's a happy man right now.
Excited.
Hey, Reason, can I say one more thing that just kind of?
I thought you were faking in the DMs, bro. I thought you were lying.
No, bro. So did Damien. Damien thought I was lying too.
I thought you guys were lying the hell out of me,
bro. Anyways,
what's going on, guys? Is there news? Is there something happening? What's going on? What happened? Week 9, Fitzy. Yeah, Dolphins get it. Anything happening? What's the news?
Reason Esteban. Hey, because I called you, I was blowing your phone up when I saw when I got the notification on my phone, bro. And you didn't pick up. I said, God damn it, where the fuck is Reason at? So I was going. So I said, you know what? In my Texas, I said, you know what? I'm gonna call Esteban. I'm gonna call the homie real quick because I had to talk to somebody. So when I talked to Esteban, he was like, "You lying? No, hell no, that's not true. He didn't believe it either, bro." When I told him, I said, "Nah, bro, it's happening."
I thought they were straight up lying, bro. I thought they were straight up like, "Oh, really good joke, guys." Haha.
A really good joke was that what I shared with him was when he called and told me, I said, so you're going to tell me I'm driving down the highway right now. And after 2 throws, we found a franchise quarterback.
I know, bro. Bro, I know all the people here that have been around since like last October kind of had a little deja vu, except last time it was a white boy named Rosen, and it was in the community. It wasn't in the coaching staff. So here we go. But hey, like I got to tell y'all guys, this is why I wasn't. Listen, what did I keep telling everyone? I wasn't anxious. I was excited for when I was going to see him, and this is exactly why I keep going back. I can now sit here and say, like I said to EM, privately, I now am down to believing about 30 to 40% of what Brian Flores is telling me. But one of the things I do believe is when he said last year, when he went back to Fitz, I'm going to go with the guy who gives us the best chance to win. And I think they saw, even though the 2 snaps, they saw the defenders in his space, they saw the right throw, then they saw him roll through his progressions and make the first down conversion, and they're like, it's like we were going to make this move in week 10, right in the bye when Reason said they would. And let's make it right now.
Yeah. Bro, when
let's go.
Safety, I was like,
but you know what, Reason? In addition
that should make you happy, bro. That should make you say that they saw what they needed to see. And if Flores saw enough to take out his boy, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who everyone loves and would run through a brick wall from water boy to upper management, that should tell you of how happy they are with the current growth, development, and how well Tua is grasping the playbook and the game at this level right now.
And we should be mindful of the fact, with this top flight secondary that Tua is seeing every single day.
Exactly.
I think that has contributed to his growth. His growth has been accelerated, bro. And like Brian Flores said, I just wanted to get Tua some game speed action. And that's the only thing that was left. To be honest with you, when you sit back and look at things, from that perspective, the only thing that was left was for him to get actual game speed, get game speed experience. And that's what exactly transpired on Sunday. So I think, again, like I said, Tua, he has been flashing. Like we said, we all knew that he would eventually. I think he's been flashing in practice, and they were just like, damn, we just can't keep this guy on the bench, bro. We just can't keep him on the sideline.
So we got 133 in the room right now, guys. I want you to smash that like button, show some love, and I got to keep it rolling here because Kieran's got a question that was in mind. I'll start it off, and I'll let y'all follow up. Take y'all turns however y'all deem necessary. First of all, we've talked about this multiple times, Kieran, in terms of I've actually made this statement. And I didn't know how to say it because I don't like, giving other grown men credit for other grown men's accomplishments. But fact of the matter is, Mac Hollins is where he is because of the chemistry and the rapport he developed with Tua Tagovailoa. Malcolm Perry had the camp and came on everyone's radar because of what? The rapport he built with Tua Tagovailoa. Myles Gaskin. Right, my homie, who I told y'all would take Balaj. I didn't sit here and say he would take out Howard and put him on the street corner, but it looks like he said, "Yo, Reason, hold my football, watch me do this. Hold Balaj's contract, watch me do this." And now he's put Jordan Howard onto the curb. And again, why did he come on? He came on with those second, third team reps with Tua. Like, there are guys right now who they are where they are at. Yes, their play. But they were put in a position to let their play shine because of Tua helping them along the way. And this is Kirk Merritt. I kept saying, look at how many wide receivers we kept on. We kept like 3 wide receivers on our practice squad. Like, it was ridiculous. And I think you're going to see Antonio Callaway. I think he can come back after week 8. Okay, so I think you're going to see Antonio Callaway. You know what? He had rapport with Kirk Merritt. I keep telling everyone, before Kirk Merritt got hurt, Kirk Merritt was popping up in all the training camp reports from what? Being on the other end of Tua Tagovailoa passes. In fact, one of Tua's nicest passes in his first week and a half of practice was a route up the seam to Kirk Merritt that went for like 25-yard touchdown. So there's even some rapport there, and there's a reason why they're holding on to Kirk Merritt, guys. Not only because EM's 110% right, you can't let that athleticism get out of the door, but don't think they didn't notice. Same thing with you look at Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe and Adam Shaheen, they were catching footballs from Fitz and Tua. And if you go back to training camp, like, this guy, the guys who he doesn't really have, the same thing with Jakeem Grant. He wasn't just working with the ones, he was working with the 2s and 3s, and he was on training camp reports. So, guys, the only ones he really didn't have a rapport with, I guess you want to say, that we heard about or saw at least, was what? DVP and Preston. Because he got limited reps because he didn't start getting reps with the ones until whether Fitzpatrick took days off or near the end when Josh Rosen was sent packing, right? So, he's got to build that. So, you know what? I'll let everyone handle this, but Kieran, 110%, I'm asking him, who are you comfortable with? And if I'm comfortable enough with them grasping, even if my route trees consist of 4 or 5 routes, if they can grasp 2 or 3 of them, because you remember DK Metcalf, he was running run route last year. Basically, Russell Wilson was saying, go run a go route, and I'll put it up to you and go win. And, that's what I would be doing, man. You ask him, who are you comfortable with? Not just with plays, right? This is deeper than the playbook. We talk about with the playbook and him getting acclimated. You ask, what plays are you comfortable with? Same thing with receivers. What receivers? And as a coaching staff, you also know, because they were taping all those practices, right? So they've watched them. So they've seen that. I would not be surprised if Malcolm Perry is activated in the next few weeks. I won't go on the limb and say Kirk Merritt because he was banged up for a while and missed some practices, but I will not be surprised if Malcolm Perry is activated.
Hey, I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be back, though.
And before EM goes, don't be surprised if EM's boy, Mac Hollins, gets some targets.
The homie, get the wings ready. Get the wings ready.
Because again, EM, he made multiple one-handed catches from Tua Tagovailoa. So they've got a report.
Get the wings ready. All right, I'll be back, homie. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's what I said, homie. Get the wings ready. It's very, I think it's very interesting that we add a little bit of context to this because, there are those that said when we drafted him, what are we doing? Shouldn't we take a linebacker, a strong safety that looks like a linebacker? Shouldn't we take a left tackle that looks like a left guard? And as time has gone on, they even said, hey, why don't we give the guy that's given us 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions? He's the dude that should really have the keys to the kingdom. And now we're at a point where we see the fruits of the labor. And as I've said, from training camp throughout the regular season, they have a development plan for him that extends into the regular season. I've been saying this week after week after week, and we have finally reached the point where it is indeed Tua time. And it is right around the time I think a lot of people on this platform were saying if we were to see him, this would be the time. And you look at the wide receiver core, you look at, there are a couple guys in this team that either have a place on this roster or have a place in the practice squad due to the production that they had or the connection they had with Tua in training camp. You're talking about your Kirk Merritt, you're talking about your Mac Hollins, Lemon Pepper Poppy, you're talking about your Malcolm Perry's. And we've said this several times before. You're keeping a couple guys in the back burner that Tua has a legitimate connection with, that he has a level of continuity, a level of comfort with. So when it is his time, they're going to get one or two of his guys into the fold and see if they can keep that going. So, you're looking at a time right now where, there's a lot of excitement, but also we must keep in the context. There is one phrase that I love, that I would love to see applied to some of those that were doubting Tua during the draft process, calling him a one-read quarterback, calling him a busted hip quarterback, saying he ain't that special. Oh, Alabama's got all the right wide receivers in the world. That don't mean nothing. Last time I checked, Clemson has a few wide receivers too. Keep that same energy. Keep it.
Yeah, and last I checked, even though I called Ruggs being wide receiver 1, it just took Ruggs till, week 6 to have a big game. Jerry Jeudy, albeit because he's been dealing with a quarterback situation, hasn't had a big game yet. So I know Mac Jones is balling out with Michi and Jalen Waddle right now, but Ruggs and those boys, they aren't being utilized the way Tua was utilizing, and they're working with NFL level quarterbacks, and Jeudy ain't popping off, and Ruggs, it took how long to pop off, and it was mainly because he had like a 70+ yard touchdown last week. That's why he really popped off. But yeah, that's shout out to Marino's GOAT, $5 donation. As soon as the Finns dropped this news, Roger Goodell in the NFL read this and he's got a bunch of dollars. Yo, I agree with you, bro. I said this to Esteban and I said this to EM when we were talking before I went live here. I said to them, you don't think Ross and Goodell are loving life right now because you get your Herbert versus Tua, you get your Burrow versus Tua, and you don't watch one of those games is probably they're gonna find a way to change them to prime time.
Yep, they're gonna move it to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and you can bet your bottom dollar because they haven't given you a time yet for the Raiders game. That's probably gonna be a prime time game now.
Guys, I'm just reading now, right?
I'll be back.
Excuse me, guys. I'm just reading that Omar Kelly said, why would you have Aaron Donald face Tua in his first game? That negative energy again from Omar Kelly. What the hell? Is he trying to put like an omen already on Tua because Aaron Donald we're going to be playing? Come on.
Let me address that once. I'm going to address that, but I just wanted, because this comment is really good. Conflict said, on the possibility of drafting both Sewell and Humphrey, that would also elevate Gaskin to potential Pro Bowl set. What am I telling y'all, bro? And all of a sudden, this is a perfect example. What did I say? You get an offensive line like this. I went on this freaking rant yesterday. You go get that offensive line, okay, with Humphrey and Sewell. You add it. You kick Hunt into right guard, shift Flowers to left guard, and all of a sudden, above average to decent to good running backs can now rush for over 1,000 yards. And all of a sudden, these 80-yard games he's having, or these 90-yard games, turned into 110, 120-yard games. Like that. I mean, that's what having an elite offensive line is all about. Sharif, what did you just say again? Sorry, my bad.
I was saying, and to finish off, please, Houston, continue to lose. We're gonna need our picks. But what I was saying is Omar Kelly is saying.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, bro, Hunt and I watched the All-22, bro. Hunt freaking struggled, bro, against New York, bro. He struggled, bud. And I'm not worried about Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Donald,
He's saying Aaron Donald. Why have Tua face Aaron Donald?
You know what? All you're gonna have to do
negative energy from
you're just gonna have to, yo, man. You have to do. You're gonna have to pull guys to trap block them. You're gonna have to combo block them, and stick with it. See, the problem with a guy like Aaron Donald is, how much zone blocking can you really play against Aaron Donald, right? Because if you know what the requirements of zone blocking are, right, you basically, even if the guy next to you is struggling, you have to take care of your area, right? That's why you'll see guys backpedal and they're not helping out anyone. They're got their head on the swivel and they're watching it because that's that's your assignment. How much because you're going to need help. Karras, you're going to need help at times if they line him up over Karras. And if they line him up wide over Hunt, Kinley's going to have to help as well. I mean,
and guys,
Durham Smythe, you're going to probably have to see a lot of inline blocking.
That's your extra blocker.
And Gaskin has kind of slacked here and there, which is another reason why I think they wanted Le'Veon Bell. Gaskin has been really good in run blocking at times, but there's been other times where he's been pretty porous. So you're gonna have to be on your blocks, man, because what can you go power pit, strong pistol.
This is the reason why once again, in order for X to make that play on that ball, you needed defensive tackle Benito Jones or Raekwon Davis to take on two of their offensive linemen so Ogba could get around. He makes that pass off his back foot, and X makes a clean interception.
And I just wanted to say to CB83, the problem with that, bro, is you got to think of it. I don't trust Robert Hunt or Jesse Davis to to hold up in that combo block, bro. And especially if Kinley's backpedaling, all of a sudden, if he moves them out wide and he's inside, now you got problems. My problem is, I basically, whether you're Kinley or whether you're Davis or Hunt, arc him out as wide as you can. You have to at least stand him up. I'm not going to ask one of those guys to consistently win the leverage game because it ain't going to happen.
Nope.
My problem with combo blocking him in a zone blocking scheme is I don't know if you're going to have an ability with once that's released, what if you combo block him with Davis. Let's say Davis is starting at, let's go Hunt. Let's say Hunt and Kinley are starting at right tackle. Let's go 3-4-4. Okay, let's say they come out in a 3-4-4, and all of a sudden they got Hunt, Donald out left in between. So okay, you combo block them because he's basically shading shoulders right there. You combo block him, but now that nose stunts off Karras and is shooting that gap. Now Kinley's got to pull off the combo block, move to the inside, and now you're stuck with Davis or Hunt one-on-one with Donald. I don't like that, bro. That's my issue, bro. That's where I'm going to start running into issues with combo blocks, bro.
Yeah.
But nothing has worked against Aaron Donald. I mean, the league is throwing everything at him.
No, I agree with you.
Against him.
I'm not disagreeing with you, CB83. My opinion, I don't think Hunt is there where he can do what you're basically saying, hit his hip and move him. I don't know if I trust either Davis or Hunt at this point to move to him. That's my issue.
I mean,
I don't think I would trust Austin Jackson more at this point to move on Aaron Donald than I would one of those two guys. And you probably would have heard a different story from me after the San Francisco game in terms of Hunt, but the Greg Williams stuff, the way they were manufacturing pressure off that right side, they were giving Hunt fits, and that was play calling. So now if we get a combination of great play calling and elite play behind it, then that's gonna be a problem. But you're in theory, CB83, you're 110% right. My issue is I don't think right now Jesse Davis or Hunt in his development are those guys that can do that. I think Kinley can do it, But my problem is if they send pressure and they force Kinley to get off the combo block, and now it's one-on-one because Aaron Donald's outside. That's where my issue is.
And this is what we were talking about yesterday. In regards to you saying that you want to continuously reinvest in the O-line, invest in the trenches. Good O-line will make an average quarterback look good, make an average running game look good. You give, if we reinvest in the O-line, and you have Tua, and you have a Myles Gaskin, or perhaps a Najee Harris, someone like that behind it, your money, bro. Like, and particularly, he is our prize asset. So I think when you hear continuously double down on the O-line, continuously double down on the trenches, you want to play up your best asset. And when you're in a position with a young quarterback and a rebuilding franchise, why not put those pieces around him? I mean, you have right now Kinley. I would say he probably projects to be a future Pro Bowler with the way he's come on the scene right now. Austin Jackson has the profile. Robert Hunt has the profile at the guard position. If you can lock that down, you don't even have to think about the O-line for a next 2 or 3 years, something like that. I mean, you're setting yourself up for success. So, and then once you lock that down, then you get the boy his toys. That's when you start getting the wide receivers off the board. You get the running backs off the board. You get the boy his toys.
I got to wondering if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a bit of a delay, but you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, the delay is horrible, man. I don't know what the deal is. I'm in the woods in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Oh, talking booty life, huh?
But yeah, thank you guys again for having me on. But I just want to add a little something for you guys to stimulate your brains on. First of all, yes, I'm happy that Tua is going to be playing, and hopefully we can. If you had noticed, every time there's a shot at Tua on the sidelines, he's always sitting beside Ryan Fitzpatrick, always looking up the game, always seems to be learning and paying attention. So that's good. That's great. Hopefully we can see that he's actually progressing more so than we could possibly imagine by sitting behind and not actually playing. But yeah, we are ready for that. So great. I want to add this too. Ever since they changed the kickoff rules and whatnot, he has not scored a single touchdown on special teams. So let's throw some prayers in the sky for a punt return for a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, something like that.
It ain't coming from Jakeem Grant, my friend.
At all.
You can pray. You can pray to your favorite deity 5 times a day. In whatever direction he comes from, and I'm telling you, Jakeem Grant ain't delivering that one, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gotta say something before I get off real quick because it drains my battery. Reason, everything I said yesterday, I was wrong.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Message was sent.
Yeah, I told y'all. The message was sent, and I gotta hit up CB83 because he hit up with some great comments here. CB83, great comment, bro. He said Chan needs to plan on cutting Donald every now and then to slow him down. I don't like the thought of him teeing off without thinking twice about his lane. I agree. Cut blocks every now and then. Cut blocks to keep Donald honest. I agree with the cut blocks, CB83. Throw it at him. And, you know what's crazy? Kinley can throw a damn good cut block. I don't know if you watched the All-22 when we were in the red zone, but they were having him throw cut blocks, and he was doing a pretty damn good job of it. So I agree 110%. Have him worried that his legs are going to be taken out from underneath him, bro.
Does anyone want to do dibs on Kinley doing a choke slam on Aaron Donald?
I don't think. I think Landon Roberts can hold that crown all on his own.
So let's ask what Javon's asking right here. Do you make a move for John Ross, who asked for a trade today?
No.
Whoa.
Personally, I don't. I want to continue along the progression of a guy like Kirk Merritt, or see what a guy like Malcolm Perry, when he can develop his body, and guys that already have some level of rapport with Tua. I'd rather follow along that process, and what we're seeing now is,
I agree.
You'll never go broke.
luxury pick.
You never go broke
Gotta get
playing the
out of
long
here,
money.
guys. I'll holler later, man.
All right, man.
Peace.
All right,
take care. Luxury picks in the
Hey, see, now that's the question. Are they
I'll
going
let
to bring
y'all-
Perry along a little quicker now to give him a target that he's used?
That's what I said before you joined here. I said, don't be surprised if in the next couple of weeks, all of a sudden, because someone fielded the question about bringing up wide receivers he's comfortable with. So I said, don't be surprised if Perry shows up here in the next couple of weeks. All of a sudden, there's a level of comfort there with them. So, and his cap isn't that bad though. Like, we're past the dead cap. He only has this year left. So
And you know what? Really, we're in a situation where, particularly the man whose job that Tua has taken, is actually his biggest supporter. This isn't a kind of like a Green Bay situation where, Brett Favre was keeping Aaron Rodgers at an arm's length, talking about you're here to take my job. Oh, I'm not showing you anything. And Fitz has told you this during the preseason where he said, I'm well aware of what this process is and what my place in this process is. And, Brian Flores, the Dolphins organization, man, they should tip their hats off to Ryan Fitzpatrick because he's gotten us to this point. He's gotten us to a point where he didn't have to force the coach's hand. He didn't have to force the organization's hand to put him in before their timeline of putting him in was. Many on here said, he would get this series and maybe the next game he would get another series and we would see from then. But, it just goes to show, man, everything that we're saying and everything that a lot of people in the fan base were saying that, Flores isn't paying attention to what's going on. Flores doesn't know what's happening. This shadow narrative that's been formed that, Brian Flores is like somewhat incompetent because he's not throwing Tua out there from the jump. He knows what's going on. He has a plan. It ain't like he just locking him up in the broom closet saying, please, Fitz, take us to the Super Bowl. He's been working this plan the whole time. And because y'all don't see the plan, you're trying to say that we don't have a plan. It's like I said, you play the long game, you're going to always win playing the long game. The Dolphins are playing the long game, and a lot of our fan base don't know what that looks like. So you got to forgive them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But this is what playing the long game means. It means you go about things in a thoughtful, methodical way, in a way that ensures, that gives you the best possibility of ensuring a positive outcome.
Yeah.
That is a methodical approach. They have displayed this. So, I was all in on this organization, particularly its organizational structure before the season started, and I'm doubling down.
Yes,
I'm doubling down.
What's up?
Doubling down like a KFC sandwich. Love to
Yeah,
hear it.
doubling down like that heartburn from the double down sandwich at KFC.
I totally agree with Havoc and like Reason mentioned. When we talk about why would he be engaged with Malcolm Perry, all of a sudden it's because of the package system that we have, as opposed to having a high draft pick running back like DeAndre Swift or Dobbins, because Gaskins was elite with that particular package in the offseason. This is why Gaskin won that job. So that package now has been expanded to Gaskin, as we see. And now that package began with Tua. So the reason is trying to make is because particular packages, you'll see Perry come up soon because he's used to Tua and the left hand throw and things like that. So this the packages. It's really not, this guy's a starter or this guy's not a starter. It's packages and schemes that they work well in.
I gotta ask this. So like I say this, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. When you talk about like the YouTube community content creators, no one's watched, maybe EM, but I don't even think EM has watched as much film on this guy as I have. So the left hand thing, like throwing from the left, is totally normal to me. But I want to see what people's reactions, especially were in the comments, because I know a lot of people didn't watch a lot of film on him. Was it weird for anyone in the comments or on the panel watching your now future quarterback throw from the left side and not seeing a right-handed quarterback?
It was odd.
Nope. Ain't nothing different.
Steve Young.
It was odd because they were blitzing him. It was kind of odd for me, which is why he
on the rollout, right? Because usually that rollout, 99.9% of the time, that rollout goes to the right.
Yes.
You don't usually see that rollout in the big boy level going to the left. You got to go all the way back to like Michael Vick.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah,
know,
and Vic, good point, Reed.
in regards to, I think I've heard.
See, Nico knows what's up.
Yeah,
I'm a-
I've heard. Why would they announce it now? They're coming up against the bye week. Why not just announce it closer to the game? Well, here's the thing. You would rather have the Dolphins organization come out with that information than to have it leaked out, and then they gotta deal with the questioning afterwards. So, that's just the Dolphins organization getting ahead of it, because that is a secret that would have gotten out of the bag so quick. They might as well just announce it right now, because someone else is gonna, someone else would have told their sources and tapped into their sources and would have put that out. So the Dolphins are just getting ahead of the game.
That's what's up, and that's the difference between this regime and past regimes. Stuff leaked out. This regime, everything's tight-lipped. I like the way everything's being ran. Like nobody, I'm pretty sure that going into that Jets game, just as you saw a reason, we also have to think that Flores and Greer probably saw it too. That this would have been the perfect game going into the bye week. Him getting 2 weeks of first-team reps. And it's just making me think about the future, man. This kid's about to go into a playoff run. Something
what
that
they
Herbert's
did
not
too?
going to be able to experience, or Burrow.
And you know what I'm telling you they'll do too?
What's up?
And this is what, again, people don't think about, because I guess they don't know the ins and outs of how things work to an extent. We only have 14 padded practices in the regular season, right?
Mhm.
How much you want to bet that they still have a majority of them left because they were saving them for this exact moment, because you don't have to use them in the first 5 weeks really, because Fitz knows the offense. You don't got to waste padded practices. Now you can actually go out and use some of those 14 padded practices. This next
Great
2 weeks,
point.
you're probably going to see the biggest stretch of padded practices that you'll see all season for sure.
Great point, Reason. And now he's going to have time to get acclimated with Devontae and Preston, because he's going to have 2 weeks.
And
practicing.
Byron's healthy, X is
Yes.
healthy, McCain and Rowe are playing at the level they're playing at. So now the secondary can give you looks. And you know what you do? You want to use those padded practices too, because I want to change things up post-snap on this kid. I want to throw wrenches at him at practice. I want to find out what's going to make him comfortable and uncomfortable from a defensive standpoint, especially leading up to this game, right? Because I'm obviously going to be having my guys, I know you go out there and you have basically, the skeleton squad or the practice squad or the number 3s and the 4s running the installs of the Rams, but I'm working more with 1s, especially if I got to replicate the coverage and what Jalen Ramsey's going to give you. Yeah, sorry, I want X out there in that padded practice, man. So, that's where I'm at, man. Like, throw the, we were talking earlier, someone mentioned the kitchen sink in terms of what were we talking about at the point? Anyways, we're talking about something else. Let's use that term here on this point. Now in padded practices in the next 2 weeks, defensively, I'm throwing everything in the kitchen sink at you. I'm going to find out what makes you tick and what doesn't make you tick at this point. Why? So in game, I can know what to stay away from calling in certain situations.
That makes a lot of sense. And particularly, this is, and I think particularly when you look at the relationship, because Brian Flores has, been more than enthusiastic in regards to, anytime he's asked about Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's always, giving off kind of a cool, cold demeanor in regards to Tua. And I think organizationally, as much as they were trying to develop him as a player, I think organizationally they were constantly saying Ryan Fitzpatrick the starter, to not only shield themselves from the media, but to a certain extent shield Tua and take the decision out of his hands, particularly, when the narrative is said, oh man, he can't even beat out a journeyman quarterback. Like, how can we trust him to be the future of our franchise? But you have to understand from an organizational standpoint, they're trying to protect him from having to answer to these people saying these questions like this, trying to shield him and just say, you know what, don't even worry about being a starting quarterback, just worry about making progress. And we'll handle the heat. We'll handle the media. We'll handle the naysayers. All you got to worry about is football. And now that his time has come, he is well positioned, and the organization is well positioned, particularly with the bye week coming up, to have him as prepared. And this is something that has been consistent with this organization. Have him as well prepared as possible to take advantage of this situation. To me, you just have to read the tea leaves, and the organization is telling you exactly what they're doing without actually telling you what they're doing. All you gotta do is read the tea leaves.
Agreed. And I mean, here's what the organization is also telling you right now, that they think at this stage right now, not only is Tua Tagovailoa the better player, obviously, but he gives them a better chance at making this playoff push. So that and again, everyone should be excited because Brian Flores is one of the like Mr. Conservative, bro. He's the last person that's gonna rush the process. He's the last person because he knows if he goes out there and this backfires on him and he ends up with a worse record than he did last year,
you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah. With this war chest of draft picks coming up, the question is at least going to be out there in the media. The question's at least going to be out there saying, hey, do we trust this guy with now this another 2 firsts and another 2 seconds when we gave him all this and we regressed and he made the wrong calls?
Like I said, protect and I'm not saying protecting him like he needs to be shielded, but just from an organizational standpoint, putting him in the best position, not, you don't want to get into a situation, particularly like they had in Green Bay, where, people were wondering, the quarterbacks don't get along. Who's going to play? When's this guy going to come in? Man, Brian Flores, man, he had this whole thing planned out. And if there's one thing, not just from the football standpoint, but Bill Belichick is probably one of the savviest media manipulators out here. And if there's one thing Brian Flores has learned, is how to say as little as possible but to have your actions speak more than the words coming out of your mouth at the press conference. So, I mean, this is all, for me, I thought you brought this up earlier in the season. You said the perfect time for Tua to come in is coming off the bye week. Now, the NFL changed our bye week, but you were still spot on with the analysis, man.
Yeah, I you know what? Honestly, when the bye week got moved, I honestly, because of how he's been playing, I'm shocked. I made that call, but I'm actually super shocked because, he wasn't he had ups and downs, but he wasn't. I can't sit here and tell you Fitzpatrick was poor this season. I can't say that, man. And what's crazy and what the flip side about what sucks about this is all those people are going to be taking a dump on Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're going to totally overlook what a guy Cameron Wolf just said, where, hey, he didn't lose his job. They just basically see this as the perfect transition time. And they it's like the stuff that EM pointed out when he saw the All-20, identifying the mic, that big boy throw. I'm saying that stuff matters, man. That's why when everyone's in Facebook groups when I share it, there's only out there for 2 minutes. I said, yeah, but I don't think y'all understand you got to look at the context of the throws, and they were impressive throws, and they were also, you know what they were, guys? Impressive decisions, because he could have forced it to Gaskin, and it could have been batted down or intercepted, or he could have forced it in one of those first 2 reads before he went to Grant. Instead, he made the big boy pass outside the numbers on the first play, and the second play, he stood tall in the pocket, was ready to take a licking, and he made the right read, right decision. And what did he do? Something that Fitz couldn't do all game. He gave you a first down.
Yes. And we're not trying to knock Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I love Ryan. I hope he stays. I want him to be a coach, man.
You gotta love him.
But that's what this channel is doing. This channel is endeavored to educating the Dolphin fans, and we have to educate from both sides, and we break it down and what have you, and it's no feelings caught or anything, but just like Jerome Baker, we finally saw that Jerome Baker was used on the right side, which is better for him. So that's all we're doing here. And so, go ahead.
I mean,
and hold on, 165 in the room. Go give Havoc a follow on his channel. No passes given. I forgot to shout it out yesterday. It totally slipped my mind at the end.
I
So
subscribe.
go give the
fellas.
homie a subscribe. But anyways, Havoc, go ahead.
I appreciate that, fellas. I think now is a good time to show Ryan Fitzpatrick a debt of gratitude, not only for what he did last season when we had a playbook that the majority of our offense could not grasp, and he was the one piecing it together, giving our season some semblance of positivity, and even this season, not just his performance on the field, but being a consummate leader, a consummate professional, going up and over what he is paid to do in terms of his ability to share information with Tua. Ryan Fitzpatrick is under obligation to play for the Miami Dolphins. He's not under obligation to share information. He's not under obligation to talk to him when he comes off the field every time. He's not under obligation to put him under his wing. But just the character of him, that's who he is. And that's who he's been his entire career. And for him to play that role, knowing that, coming towards the end of the season, he's more than likely was not going to be the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. But for him to embrace that role, and for him to embrace the role as a teacher, as a leader, embrace the role as, and this is why when people say the whole locker room is behind Fitz, this is what we're talking about. This man has, integrity coming out of his eyeballs. So, man, give that man, give that man a round of applause. Give that man a debt of gratitude, because for him to play that role and for him to be an integral part of the building block, be an integral part of the process of developing him and bringing him along, man, it just goes to show that, experience isn't all on the field. It's in the locker room, it's in the meeting room, it's in the QB room. But all experience is experience. And just because we haven't been seeing him on the field does not mean that nothing's happening behind the scenes. And I think that's really where Ryan Fitzpatrick has earned his merit this season, is behind the scenes, keeping this team together during a bad season last season, during a shaky start, particularly after the first game of this season, keeping this team connected, keeping this offense connected, keeping that hope in the building, and putting us in a position where when Tua is taking over now, he's not stepping into a dumpster fire. He's the and we're talking about particularly at the beginning of the season how the O-line needs to develop. Fitzpatrick was more than willing to step up and take those hits for a developing O-line. It's like when, like Dave Chappelle said, Hove did that. So hopefully none of y'all would have to go through that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is Hove.
I like that.
So give that man a debt of gratitude.
And let's take a current look. Guys, there's 172 in the room. Let's take an in-depth look at the AFC East now with two of the starter guys. And we're going to start calling them Daddy Tua. And what we got right here, guys, is we got Sam Darnold. He ain't nothing but a baby now. Look at Josh Allen. He going to be clutching on to Tua Tagovailoa's leg for the rest of his career, trying to play catch up with the God left arm. And that's the homie Tua. And then right over here, guys, do we even care about Jarrett Stidham anymore?
Who?
Exactly. So that is a current in-depth outlook at the AFC East with Tua Tagovailoa as the starter of your Miami Dolphins, because it's now a man amongst boys. Picture says 1,000 words, homies.
Did you check your Twitter message, Reason? That's a beautiful video there.
Well, no, I haven't checked my Twitter yet.
That was my mood. That was my mood the instant I got the message.
Bro, this is man, if you really think about it, man, this could possibly be one of the most definitive days in Dolphin history that we are living right now, man. And it's from personal, man. It really is a pleasure to be able to share this with all y'all on this stream, man, because a lot of the people up here, man, we have not been driving the Tua doubt train. We have not been driving the Rosen Express. We come out here trying to tell y'all what's really happening, not tell y'all what we feel, not trying to play the Kansas City Shuffle with you, but try and give y'all the real information, man. And the experience I've gotten on this platform talking about this has lend me the ability to start my own platform, man. So it's just good to be here in solidarity and fellowship with all y'all on here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pins up.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that video that you just shared, Damien, would I get copyrighted for that?
Who did I get it from? Oh shit! Hold on one sec.
For music and stuff?
It's from Jeff Darlington. I don't know. I got this straight off of Jeff Darlington.
Have you watched it yet?
No, because I had it on mute. I watched it on mute, so I didn't even know it had music.
Give me a sec. Let me check this out.
Yeah, I didn't even know it had music to it, fam.
I was just wondering if it had music. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, I had it on mute watching it.
But man,
all right. Okay, here we go. I think I can share this.
That's real too, ain't it, Reason?
Yeah.
Real.
I'm about to share this. Okay, hold on.
All
right. All right, guys. Y'all ready for it? We got 191 in the room. Y'all ready for it? This is. Hold on. I gotta actually share the audio. Let me cancel that for a sec, guys. This sounds like it's gonna be hype too, Damien. This sounds like it's gonna be hype too, fam. So let's peep this, guys. Bring it back.
The time.
All right, guys. Let's watch this together. The Ballad of the Dolphins Quarterbacks by Jeff Darlington.
For Tua's debut, no disrespect to Fitzpatrick. We all still love you. In fact, we're not here to bury the past. We're here to recognize all 21, the first to the last. Since Marino retired, that's how many QBs have started a game. 21 quarterbacks have shouldered the blame. But maybe it's time we have a heart-to-heart. Everyone in Miami, here's to a fresh start.
Shout out to Dolphin Lady 99.
This goes so much deeper than Fiedler and Feely. It isn't just about Harrington or Greasy. So let's start with Ray Finkel, laces and all. And Hootie, here's the deal. There's no crying in football. Oh, Dolphins fans are good at placing blame with ease. Just go ahead. Ask them about Drew Brees.
That's real.
Level about Drew Brees' shoulder.
But you see, if you want Tua to master this position, it's time for South Florida to have some contrition. At least those quarterbacks all stuck it out, unlike Saban and Parcells and all of their clout. It's time to forgive the two Ryans and the two Chads. It's not Matt Moore's fault you made it bad. Yes, we get it. This dish could have been better. But you can't fault the sage, the lemon, or Culpepper. You can put it on Hewitt and Lucas, the whole damn lot. Trent Green, Brock Osweiler, and John Beck if you dare. But you really expected Jay Cutler to care. The hope did exist. And pretty quickly tamed. Tyler Thigpen with his legs, and Josh Rosen with his brain. Those quarterbacks were just holding the place for your new king.
Now the Miami Dolphins have legit championship hope in Tua Tagovailoa.
It's been 21 seasons since Marino retired, and 21 quarterbacks have all aspired. But Sunday, as Miami's new king scampers for 7, just remember that Shula will be guiding him from heaven.
That's beautiful, man.
That's nice. Oh man,
that's beautiful. That boy, tear to my eye, man.
That's
I like that a lot.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
Woo! That boy Tua, baby. Look at now the media wants to show love.
Oh yeah, we imagine how many primetime games we're gonna be in this playoff run. We're gonna get a lot of flex games to that nationally televised.
We're making the playoffs, David. We're making the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, homie.
I love that prediction, Rhino.
It's going to happen.
I love that.
You know what? We're well positioned. I mean, particularly, you got to really hand it out to Fitz, man, because he handed Tua the team in a good position, man. It's not like the bottom's falling off and we're in let's see what we got mode. We're not in let's see what we got mode. We're in we know what we got mode. Now let's see them produce. So, for me, man, I've never been this hyped.
Hey,
all I know is
this is one of the greatest days in Dolphins history.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Rhino. I'm sorry, Havoc. Y'all go ahead and go. I'll go after.
Go, bro. I'm done.
Hold on, I got another video, but I'll let you go. Go, Rhino. Go.
It's just the Jets. It's just 3 or 4 plays, but it fit. It worked. He looked like a machine, but he also looked like a gazelle out there. I'm so excited for this. I think we need to just embrace this and go with it, man. It's forget all the stuff in the past, all the BS, and just build on the positive. It's Tua time, baby.
I feel you, man. I feel you
right.
on that.
I agree, man. We as particularly, as an organization and as a fan base that has seen, I would even say we've said a lot of rebuilds. We've seen a lot of patchwork, right? We've seen them bringing a lot of quarterbacks. We've seen them bring a lot of players who either disappointed in other places and we hope to revitalize their career, patching it up with veterans, guys leave, patching up with guys that didn't do too well in other places. And now, we're in the middle of a basically a top to bottom rebuild. And the ability to start a top to bottom rebuild with a guy who before last season started, I think was universally recognized as the number 1 overall prospect in the NFL draft, for him to go through, and this goes towards adversity, for him to go through the adversity that he's gone through, to drop, and let's be clear, he dropped in the draft. He was, he dropped when he went to number 5 to us, man.
Should have been 1.
There are things in the works. There are things happening around us that we cannot account for, that we do not know about, but somehow, he has landed here with an administration and an organization that has his best interests at heart, not their job position. And it just goes to show, man, a little bit of patience goes a long way. It ain't always gonna be perfect from the jump, but if you have intentional, positive movement, you're gonna always win. Oh man!
So I'm just giving you some background music, bro. Sorry.
Love that song, man. I'm gonna keep going.
We got Lefty Marino.
God damn.
Did you see his eyes? His eyes took the safety.
Bro. This is,
with his one read.
This is it. it's funny, man. But we're in a better time. We're in a better place.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It really
There you go.
That's
Anyway,
beautiful,
sorry.
man.
Sorry,
Man.
Havoc. Continue. Just because it was acting fugazi, I had to get it over with.
Bro, I feel you. But we're in a much better place now. We're under a much better organization, particularly now. With our at the top of our organization with Brian Flores and Chris Greer, man. This is a front office in many ways, in many shapes, forms, does not look like the majority of the front offices in the NFL. They came up the hard way. They came up through the mud. They earned it. They were not, we're not looking at a position where
not the good old boys.
Yeah, we're not looking at a position where, a special teams assistant was elevated to a head coach. We're not looking at a situation where, guys were placed in certain situations because of nepotism, man. They earned it the hard way.
That's right.
So when you come up that way, that means you have a plan when it's ready to go. And they have a plan when it's ready to go. And I think a lot of our fan base, they get very hesitant when they see what's going on. And I'm going to just keep it a buck, man. You see, a black head coach, you see a black GM, you see a brown quarterback, and a lot of people are shaking in their boots. And, I'm just keeping it a buck. And, we're in a position now where we're going about it in a different way. And it doesn't look familiar. And it's caused a lot of anxiety, it's caused a lot of trepidation. But just because it doesn't look familiar doesn't mean it's not the right way.
Bro. You want to talk about David Chappelle? I'm about to do a racial draft, and I'm about to draft Tua Tagovailoa to my side, brother. What do you mean? That's all out the window, baby. Y'all can take. I mean, I'm gonna trade you guys Tiger Woods for a higher draft pick, and I'm moving up in the draft, and I'm getting Tua. And I'm gonna make a power move, and I'm gonna get Greer and Flores too.
That's what's up, homie.
I feel you, bro.
That's what's
feel
up,
you, bro.
man. Look at our quarterback.
Because I know we talked about. I know you're with that Jay-Z. You're like what he said about Hove. Like that was perfect. But here's my issue with Hove.
Oh no.
Nah, man. Here's my issue with Hove. You ain't doing what you told everyone you were gonna do when they started putting you in power with the NFL, man. Like, let me put it this way. I don't get the sense that Hove being involved is gonna bring upon the first black owner, and they tried to pitch us like it was going to. And I don't think he's gonna be the reason that comes out. Like, man, I'll tell you right now, like, I would be more willing to bet on Ross is on his deathbed and he sells to a black owner than Hove bringing a black owner right now, because people can say what they want about Ross and Trump or whatever like that, but Ross has kind of been ahead of the curve. I mean, we are the kind of, Adam Gase is the perfect reason why the Rooney Rule exists, and we are the living embodiment of the Rooney Rule in 100%. Miami, and I take a lot of pride in that, man. Like I told you guys privately, like I haven't been invested in a coach, let alone I love Chris Greer. I haven't been invested in a coach like this since Tony Sparano.
I remember those days.
Yeah, I love Tony.
You know what I mean? And the only guy who I ever thought I might have get behind was Dan Campbell. And that was just because of his attitude, and I wanted to go play for him. You know what I mean?
It was like a Ditka.
Pure adrenaline.
Exactly, man. So Havoc's 110% right, man. Like that's another reason why I want to see this success so bad too. Like I want to be. It should bring everyone pride that we can be like industry leaders in that aspect, man. Like that should that should make you guys smile even wider with this decision today. Like, and I'm telling you, he's got the skill set to basically make Greer look like a genius, and one day have Flores hand the trophy over to him, bro. So it's just let's hope it translates, because if that translates, man, we're not just a leader in the industry of football, we'd be a leader in sports, bro.
And particularly that's why I think I'm personally invested in the success of this organization, because they say it's a copycat league, and that is on all fronts, because not many organizations were really out here trying to hire black head coaches, particularly you're talking about the front office, giving them the head of the organization in that realm. And it's not about that. But what you will see is, if we are successful in what we do, you will see a lot of these owners who, the moral case for hiring the best candidates regardless of race, you'll see them say, "Oh, they won the Super Bowl last year. They're in the playoffs consistently. Why don't we get on what they're on?" A lot of times when you're talking to a lot of these owners, and it is a bit of an old boys club, they don't see the morality. They don't see the intention to put a better foot forward for the future, man. All they see is dollar signs. So if we can present a scenario where we go about our business in the right way, where when we can be a leader in terms of taking coaches and executives who probably should have been put in a position a while ago, and we put them in a position and did not supervise them, did not babysit them, did not chain their hands together and say, yeah, we'll put you in this position, but we're going to handcuff you. But to have full faith in them and to allow them to do what they do, and have faith that they are experienced professionals that have more than paid their dues, and to give them the reins without any type of overseeing. That's the real future that we're looking at, and that is what we're starting here. And it is sad that it took 2019 to get there. But we're here now.
Well,
So we're here to take the most of it.
Beautifully said.
The Chiefs
Yes.
have been there too, so I mean,
And I'll
they did a
just
good
say,
job.
between Jonathan Huberdeau, Alexander Barkov, because I'm a big Panthers hockey fan, and Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, I'm telling you right now, Tua is going to surpass them.
It's his
Bro.
city.
Yeah, he's the king of South
It's his
Beach.
city.
He's going to surpass them.
Bro, Barkov and Huberdeau aren't even like, they're not even top 25 players
No,
in the NHL.
Huberdeau
bro.
is playing well, man.
Yeah, but he's not a top 25 player in the NHL, bro. Bro, not even close, bro. So
Alexander Barkov. Well, I'll hash that out with you because I knew as of last night you're
I'm
a
gonna
hockey
tell you,
fan.
bro. What do you mean, bro? The last thing you want to do, and I'll just be honest with you, bro. The last thing you want to do is disagree with a Canadian about a hockey team.
No.
That's racist. That's racist.
That's what's up.
That's not racist. That's yo. Before I did this Dolphin thing, I used to no offense to all y'all Americans, but I mean, you guys got the miracle, that little 1980 miracle. That's all that you guys really got, bro. Because like when you go look at our accolade, like hockey, we eat, sleep, and breathe. Hockey is was the toughest sport in the world, bro.
100%.
You got guys going. You guys got guys going 50, 60 miles per hour on skates, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever been hit into boards. I broke my knee and was concussed because I was hit in the back of the numbers. Because I played center and I was going hard to the corner. I was first to the corner. Got my stick into the puck, and basically what had happened was I was just driving hard, went around the defender easily, got to the corner, got my stick on the puck, and next thing you know, I woke up in the locker room, and because those boards, there's no give in those boards at all, like football. Oh, y'all get hit, but getting hit in hockey against those boards, it ain't. Like, even if you get hit with that puck, you go like that puck. When you're out there on a 60-minute game, you're in the third period, and that puck has been on the ice, and that puck basically turns into concrete. That's why if it hits you in the jaw, your brain. Like, I don't know if y'all watched, but Sidney Crosby years ago, he got hit in the jaw right as the season was ending, and he had to play in the playoffs with a special mask because it's instantaneous broken jaw. Like, and instantaneous fracture, but most likely broken in like 2 or 3 places, and you got to get all your teeth replaced, et cetera. Like, that shit is like hockey. Don't say it, but it's just hockey, because hockey players, bro, they'll kick the shit out of you. Then
that's not what I meant at all. I meant simply it's boring to watch for me. That's all I meant. I didn't mean anything about.
Because I'll say they'll kick the shit out of you. Then, and I'm not saying to you. I'm just talking generally. They'll kick the shit out of you. Then they'll fuck your wife.
Hey, what's that term?
Like, they're animals, bro. I'm telling you, man. No, bro. Like, I'm telling you, y'all don't realize. Like, I got stories from me. I got stories from my brother, because my brother played really high up. And like my nephew's going to be going to the OHL. He'll probably be going to the show. And, I'm telling you, like, running trains on like 250, 275 pound girls for like 4 or 5 hours, loving every minute of it, because the other friend, the hot one, wasn't ready to get down, and she's sitting outside the room, and the whole team's running a train, bro. Like, they are hockey players are next. Like Chris Pronger. I don't know if y'all ever heard about Chris Pronger. If y'all know who Chris Pronger is, but Chris Pronger is one of the best defensemen ever.
With the Blues,
right?
Detroit.
And a lot of people. Well, that's not. He made it with the Blues, and then he made it with the Edmonton Oilers, right? Well, a lot of people wonder why he left Edmonton when they went to the Stanley Cup. They went to the Stanley Cup next year. He left, and that was because he knocked up a 19-year-old. He met her at a club and knocked her up, bro. Like, I'm telling you, they are a different breed. Like, football players, baseball players, they're arrogant. They'll get into scraps at club, They'll womanize, but they have standards. A lot of hockey players don't have standards. Like, they're absolute freaking animals, bro. Like, it's like I've seen some disgusting stuff, bro. Like, there is nothing. Like, I've been you know, like I only played basketball up until grade 8, so I really can't say that. But like I've been in dugouts, okay, up until the rep level. I've been hockey. I only went up to single A, but I played rep. And, you know, I played football at the level I played at all the way up to, you know, being a backup in college. And nothing could compare to even what I was seeing at a rep level when we were like, I played till I was, 16? So, like, animals, bro. Like, even at 13, like, yo, I was playing baseball, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old. No one's swearing, bro. You go play hockey, 6, 7, 8 years old. Bro, not only are the other kids swearing, you got parents in the stands telling y'all to kill these motherfuckers, bro. Like hockey is like next level shit out here, bro.
Yeah,
like there could never be an organization like the Philadelphia Flyers especially what the Flyers were in like the 70s. There could never be an organization like that in any major professional sport right now. Like
I remember I saw what happened to Donald Brashear, and I was just like, golly, these dudes ain't playing.
Oh, Marty McSorley. Marty
McSorley
gave him the two-hander side to the head, bro.
Yeah,
man. Bro, but if you go back to the 70s, Bobby Clark, the Broad Street Bullies, like those were mean. And back then, it weren't these twigs that break on impact, bro. It was like legit solid wood sticks, bro, and they used to take them to the back of your knees. Like, think of this. Goalies up until the 70s were playing the position with no mask.
That's hard.
You want to talk about a men's sport, bro? Yo, go stand in the net with no mask and go take on. I mean, nowadays they can hit like 105, 110 miles per hour. But back then, they're probably hitting with those sticks. They're probably hitting 70, 80 miles per hour. Go take on guys that are shooting 70 to 80 miles per hour, a basically piece of rubber that turns into concrete by midway through the game. Go stand out there. And back in the 50s and 60s, they didn't have multiple pucks to play with. You had like a few pucks, and it was go knock yourselves out, guys. Like, even with the crowds didn't even have glass. They had netting in the 50s and stuff. Like, people get hit in the crowd.
Do you know about
that shit.
Tyler Sagan's Achilles injury reason?
Oh, who Sagan's Achilles injury? Tyler Sagan?
Yeah, did you? Yeah, the one that he had, I believe it was back in 2010. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah.
Bro, he took that blade. I don't know if you've ever seen.
Oh,
like he posted what happened. He took a blade to his Achilles. It literally cut through his Achilles.
Bro, do you know who Eric Carlson is?
Yeah.
So Eric Carlson was like one of the best defensemen in the NHL when he was with Ottawa. When he was playing us, Matt Cook got him in the corner against the boards. Same thing. He picked his foot up and he ran his blade along his Achilles, sliced it, and then now you know what they started doing after that injury? They started using like a mesh. They use like a it's like this certain type of metal, and it's almost like you know how when you look at how knights and like old people that used to fight in medieval times, how they put that mesh armor underneath the actual armor.
Yeah,
it's like that, but it's for your legs now to avoid injuries because blade injuries were becoming. Bro, I have a scar. I don't know if y'all can see it, but my hair. I have a line where the hair doesn't grow properly. I got too much hair right now, but I took a blade off the chin, bro.
Damn.
I was diving to keep a puck on side, and defender just came across going for the puck, and I just turned my head, and his blade just came off the ice and caught me, bro. Like 4 or 5 stitches.
Savages.
And I want to say I was 11.
I was gonna say if this game that we just had with the Jets was a hockey game, it still would have been entertaining by the third period.
Yeah, but you know it would have got ugly because the Jets were taking cheap shots against us, bro.
Yeah,
they were.
Fights. You know what I mean? And you don't have to worry about suspensions in hockey.
They literally clothesline Fitzpatrick. Clothesline from hell. When Fitzpatrick slid, like dude literally clotheslined him.
And you can't tell me they didn't get away with head-on-head contact. They hit him right in the side of the logo, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, I know he's diving, but you got to call that, man.
Yeah, you got to. Hey, Reason, did y'all bring up this point? We're about to go into this matchup. It's going to be Flores versus McVay. Remember last time that happened? I think we're going to be well prepared defensively.
Well, here's
against
another thing,
McVay's.
my friend. Guess what? For
What's
the first time in the Brian Flores era, we're heading into a game 500 or better.
Yep. Man,
are we the favorite? Is the line out? Are we the favorite?
The line isn't out yet. Line won't be out because Rams got this game this week.
So
it'll be out.
So it could be our second game in a row where we're favorites if they favor us too.
Yeah, and I got to go back and watch that game. How Shanahan was able to take Donald out the game because Donald was taken out that game. He really wasn't impactful at all. They double teamed him.
Yep.
And they actually have a pretty good offensive line.
Is Aaron Donald just that much stronger than everyone else in the league, man?
It's his leverage. It's his leverage and technique, man.
Man, this guy is throwing around, literally throwing around grown offensive linemen.
He's jacked. The man's ripped to
Did y'all see Kilgore last night too? That made me pissed.
Daniel
Kilgore? There's a difference between
he played well last night
and muscle strong, and that dude is a little bit fat but a lot of muscle, and he I'm telling you, dude. When y'all won't believe me, but when I was in high school, man, there was only 2 people that bench pressed more than I did, and they were linemen. And I'm telling you, when they do this combine where they lift the 225, I'm actually shocked that they don't do more than what I do. You know what I mean? And these guys, Aaron Donald is at the standard he should be at. That dude, he actually works at it. That's the kind of tackle that you need in the NFL. That I think the standards are kind of low for a lot of guys that play that position. That dude he's something else. I'm a fan of that dude. That dude and Lil Mac, man. I mean, just pay him the money because they're difference makers.
Now, watch this.
Hold on a sec, Sharif. My daughter's gonna wake up any minute, so I'm gonna have to go through and get final thoughts here because me and EM are probably gonna be back later tonight. We'll probably go live a second time, guys. So, I'll go through final thoughts just because I want to, I don't want to have to cut it off short when she wakes up. So, she should be up like any minute now. So, Nico, we'll start with you. We'll go through final thoughts and we'll be back tonight again, guys. Esteban, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I just want to address CBS, ABC, NBC, ESPN. Just want to tell you thank you for not showing us any love. Shout out to all the Dolphins YouTubers because we don't need y'all. That's the way that I see it. So I got love for all the Dolphins YouTubers and to all these haters that go on these channels and hit the thumbs down, man. You don't got nothing better to do. Like, you show some love to all of them. There's no reason that inside the NFL should have an average of 15 thumbs down every time. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And that goes for any of these platforms. So, you know what I mean? We all cheer for the same team. So that's all I gotta say,
man. Sharif, go ahead, brother. Appreciate you, Esteban.
As far as Sylvester, defensive tackle for New England, I forgot the name of the defensive tackle who Kinley handled for San Francisco, and Calais Campbell, I think, for the Buffalo, and Kinley handled who last week with the Jets. So I'm expecting Kinley to get a better challenge to see who he can manhandle in terms of Aaron Donald, and I'm looking forward to that challenge because we're already saying we found our guard. So I'm not afraid of Aaron Donald. On that note, Omar Kelly.
Rhino, final thoughts, brother.
Tua's coming for you, NFL. Hope you're ready. Fins up.
Wow, short and sweet. Pyro, are you there, brother?
Yes, I'm here, man. What's up?
What's good, homie? Final thoughts, brother.
I am nervous about Aaron Donald. I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast. He's an athletic freak. So I gotta respect him in terms of that. But hopefully we can shut him down like 49ers did. Just keep him out of the game. Don't let him get any hits on Tua. And for the love of God, the refs, please, when you see something so blatantly as helmet to helmet, please call it. Thank you. We're a team too. We exist. And as always, and I mean always, I don't care what time of day it is, root for the Texans. Root against the Texans.
Oh, wow.
We're rooting for the
Whoa.
Texans now, bro?
No, I messed up. I was going to say the Dolphins, but then I said, "Oh wait, I meant the Texans," and I messed it up. But anyways, root against the Texans. Don't root for them. We don't need our draft pick to go any lower, please, because we could be against the Jets. Jets gonna go winless, I believe. So,
Damien, brother, what are your final thoughts?
Been waiting since January 15th, 2000 for a quarterback. That was Marino's last game. We finally got one. Fins up.
We had Tannehill.
That don't count.
Calm down, Pyro. Calm down.
Take Derrick Henry away, and I'm still a believer. He has improved, but take Derrick Henry away. As soon as I complimented him, Reason Rhino knows. As soon as I gave him a compliment via Twitter, what happened? Fumble. Then what happened? Pick. Enough said.
Oh man.
Hey, Tannehill's the real deal, bro.
Pyro, you are a habitual line stepper when it comes to final thoughts, bro. But I'll just say, as always, man, fins up all day, every day, 365 days a year. You know the vibes. And I've said this consistently, man. Just because you got the ingredients for your gumbo doesn't mean you got gumbo, man. But if you walk by the kitchen, you stick your head in that pot, it's starting to smell like gumbo. Fins up.
You forgot to shout out Australia, though. You forgot to shout out Australia.
Well, bro, if you stop cutting me off and I can get my final thoughts going on, you know what, Pyro? You know what? Hold on a second, Pyro. You sound like that song with you sound a little bit like the dude that makes that song when he's like, do my dance, bang, got them shouters in the air. You sound like that dude a little bit. Shout out to Australia. Shout out to Western Australia, Perth gang, Sydney City, Melbourne. You know the vibes.
Hey, that's a hit song. I probably did.
Yeah, too much.
Sydney gang. You forgot to mention that.
I said Sydney City gang.
New Zealand. Shout out to Melbourne. They were in the comments last section saying, "What about Melbourne?"
I gave it. Listen, Perth gang, Western Australia, Sydney City gang, Melbourne gang. You know the vibes.
Yo, and shout out to New Zealand because that lamb I had a couple weeks ago was fire. All right, guys. So we'll be back. I'm thinking probably 7:30, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back, and we'll do another little bit like hour and a half, and we'll open it up to all of y'all from the get-go, and EM will be here too. So, guys, I appreciate all y'all for spending 2 hours with us on your Tuesday afternoon. We'll see you this evening. We'll give some final thoughts because I'm sure more things will come out in terms of the decision, what led to the decision, et cetera, et cetera. Cameron Wolf already put it out there, guys. Fitz didn't have a bad season. Fitz was playing good. It wasn't about that. It was about what I told y'all. It was about way back when I made the prediction of when we'd see him. It was about the bye week being the perfect transition, and that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. So don't read anything deeper than that, guys. And Fitz told y'all from the get-go he was a placeholder, and now that placeholder has been filled with the franchise. So y'all already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day, and we'll see y'all back later tonight. Shout out to all of y'all. Have a safe and happy rest of your day. We'll see y'all tonight, guys.